So coming into 2021, I had high hopes for 3 movies coming out this year. First one, Wonder Woman 84. Oh man, hot garbage, hot trash. If you want to see what I thought of that, check out the video down below. Second movie, The Snyder Cut, Justice League, The Snyder Cut. It was a masterpiece, it was visionary, it was absolutely outstanding. It was everything I wanted the Snyder Cut to be and more. I haven't done a video on that because I would just gush over it for days. I could not wait to see what they were going to do in 2021 with Mortal Kombat. An R rating, guaranteed to see some fatalities. Mortal Kombat was coming back. I was so excited. For the 3 movies I wanted to see this year, I needed 2 out of 3 to be good. First of all, before we crack on, I must introduce myself. My name is Kevin Halden, and this is Nerdly Out Loud, the official podcast or YouTube channel of nerdly.co.uk, your favourite British home for all of your news, reviews, and interviews. We cover everything from the big budget to the low budget to the no budget, with a special keen interest on the more independent scene. I do apologise because I have been missing for a couple of weeks. That is mostly because, well, work has been hectic, you know, you've got a real life and the job gets in the way, and that's all it is. On Friday night, I sat down and I watched Mortal Kombat 2021, the reboot, prequel, whatever you want to call it. It is basically setting the tone for this universe going forward. Should we get another movie? Spoiler alert, I think we will. I think we are absolutely going to get one. It seems to be splitting the opinion. You're either on one side or the other. You either really love this movie or you really don't like it. It tends to be that the people who love the lore and the mythology of the games and the legacy of the games and these characters kind of aren't really vibing on this movie. Your casuals aren't really vibing on this movie either, because there's enough lore in there that should you not know what's going on and not know these characters, you may get a little bit lost. So we're going to go through it. I'm going to do it in little sections, the story, the characters, how it looks, all that kind of thing, but we'll get into that now in a minute. But first of all, obviously you've got all those beautiful little buttons down below. You've got the like, the subscribe, the bell. Like us, subscribe to us, hit that bell, put your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you think of Mortal Kombat. Please do watch some of the other videos that we've got on there. A lot of things coming up, interviews and whatnot. I do apologise, I've kind of gone impromptu on this one because I wasn't expecting to do a video tonight, but that's kind of why you can see the green screen just hanging there. Yeah, I just thought, you know what, I need to talk about Mortal Kombat. Like, I genuinely needed to talk about this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into the review. I will try and keep it spoiler free, but I'll tell you now, there are going to be spoilers. I am sorry, there are going to be spoilers. So first up, we are going to hit the story. Storyline wise, there's nothing really new here. There's nothing massively new. This is maybe a spoiler because they didn't really promote the movie this way, but spoiler alert, we don't see the tournament. We don't see the tournament. That 1995 movie, it dealt totally with the tournament. It dealt with all that stuff. We don't see it in this movie. In this movie, we are going to spend a buttload of time working on these characters, introducing these characters to the new fans. We have a new set of characters, and here we are. I mean, not new, like they're legacy characters. We know who they are, but -1. But the story basically is Shang Tsung and Outworld are one more victory. There are 9 victories in a row. They've got one more victory to get at the Mortal Kombat tournament, and then they can just take over. So nothing new there. It's what the games are based on. It's what the last movie was based on. It's what Mortal Kombat Annihilation was based on. We don't talk about that movie though. It's what they tend to just base Mortal Kombat on. That is the story. This opening scene is absolutely gorgeous. We see like Scorpion back in the 1600s or something like that. It's centuries ago, and he's just totally chilling out. We've got the family and everything, and then Sub-Zero comes in, and Sub-Zero's going like, I'm gonna bust your shit up, because they got like a little bit of toing and froing, and it is the typical story of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. But thankfully that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Like, most of the movie, even though we don't see Scorpion all that much, most of the movie is based on this relationship. All this kind of thing happens. Shang Tsung's decided, instead of going the legal way about things, he is just going to go and cheat. He's going to cheat his way because he doesn't want to lose the 10th tournament. He wants to win the 10th tournament. So he sends basically what you could call the C team. It's not the guys that you know and love. It's kind of like, I mean, it's Major Rico, who, yeah, okay, character. It's Cabal, who isn't the best character in the world. Goro's there though. Goro's cool. Natara and Melina. So he's going to send, and Reptile. By the way, Reptile, damn. We'll get to that in a second when we deal with characters. So he gets his team together and he's like, right, go and kill them all before the tournament and then we will win. That's the way it's going to go. And then all like Raiden comes in like the lightning god and he's like, nah, you can't do that, you can't do that. It's against the rules. I'm going to make sure that you can't do that and you don't break the rules. So it's the age-old story and we meet our characters. We meet Jax, we meet Sonya, we meet Cole, we meet Kano. So these guys, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, all these guys are going to go up against the C team I just mentioned a minute ago. But before they kind of like get to the tournament, they're going to have a little fight and everything. Because you know what? Rocky had a montage. You need a montage. And then obviously it's leading up to the big battle, the big showdown, because you know it's going to get there. Basically, at its absolute core, this movie is setting up the good guys and the bad guys, and the tournament will be the next movie. But in the middle of all that, you've got this amazing story between Scorpion and Sub-Zero that is the absolute heart of this movie. And it had to be, because one thing that 1995 movie had that this movie didn't have was a core set of characters. Like in that original movie, Sonya, Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, they are the heart and soul. They are the team that bonds this film, and they are the glue that are going to keep you watching. This movie doesn't really have that. We have our crew, we have our gang, but they throw this character in there that... I'll tell you what, let's just get into the characters. So, characters-wise, I want to start with the good. The good is Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Like, these two guys are friggin' awesome. Like, the guy that plays Scorpion is like... He's just old school Japanese legend, so he's frigging awesome. Joe Taslim is playing Sub-Zero. Can I just give a shout out to that man? What an epic bit of casting that was, Joe Taslim. Minimal lines, just kick-ass badass villain though. Just love Sub-Zero. So you've got Sonya in there. Sonya, this chick, she's good. I like her. I really did like her. I got on board with her. I wasn't overly keen on this little story that they've got going. They've kind of retconned the Mortal Kombat logo, the dragon thing, so it's more like an invitation to the battle. But they do this thing where like Sonya doesn't have that because she's not worthy or whatnot, and then she like inadvertently gets it because she kills someone, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm not that keen on that, and I just don't know. Like, is that a thing? Like, we're going to do that going forward? I mean, fair play. I mean, I don't know. I'm alright with it. So yeah, you've got her. You've got Jax. Jax is cool in this movie. It's little Jimmy Olsen from the Supergirl TV show. Shang Tsung's pretty good. He's not fantastic, but he's pretty good. Raiden is awesome. Doesn't do a great deal, and he says he can't do certain things, and then towards the end of the movie, he does them anyway. Raiden's okay. Raiden's pretty damn good. By far, the heart and soul of this movie is Kung Lao and Liu Kang. These two are fantastic. By the way, Kung Lao's intro, like when he the hat comes through the floor and then he just flips and does a thing, that is one badass intro for Kung Lao. A character I don't think anybody really gives that much of a crap about. Like, he's good. But he's not Liu Kang, Johnny Cage good, because that's when you played that game back in the day, you always played Liu Kang or Johnny Cage. You didn't play Kung Lao. Now I might. Oh man, like, you can sit and watch this movie and you might get a little bit bored as a passive fan, as a casual watcher, but there's a character in this movie that will keep you watching right till the very end, and that is Kano. Kano is friggin' awesome. He has all the best one-liners, all the best scenes. Kano is this movie. And I don't think I'll be the only one to say that. He absolutely steals it from word one till the end. And if you ever wondered, is this actually a rated R movie? Just watch a Kano scene, because that's all he's doing. He's effing, he's blind, and he's just doing some awesome stuff. You know what the turn is going to be with that character. Like, you know where it's going. Like, if you know anything about Mortal Kombat. If you don't know anything about Mortal Kombat, he is clearly the character that's in there to do a 360 on the gang and fuck up people's shit. That is Kano's role. But he's so good. He's just amazing. And his back and forth with all the different characters, it works. It works on a whole different level. I want to see Kano going forward. I want to see Kano in the next movie. I want to see Sub-Zero in the next movie. I want to see all these characters coming back. I want to see more. So, I mean, characters-wise, Kano is the bee's knees. Like, I absolutely love them. So there's a couple of things I do want to address. The Arcana. So the Arcana is kind of like how you get your power. Because you have the power built in, it's inside you, but you have to find your Arcana. I kind of just like the whole fact that you could do fireballs out of your hands because you could. Because it's a movie. To have these whole montages where they're trying to find themselves, it wasn't a deal breaker for me. It just wasn't one of my favorite things in the movie. I kind of just like the fact that they just can. Like, I kind of just like the fact that they have these powers. Sometimes the best explanation is because movies. Like, I love that shit. Although the story is a good story, it's quite a tropey story, it's not one we haven't seen before, I do feel like it gets a little bit rushed. Like, they take all this time at the start of the movie to build these characters and to show these characters, but they don't really tell you anything about them. Like, Cole Young, I don't really know that much about Cole Young, apart from the fact that he's played by Lewis Tan from Into the Badlands, and he's a freaking badass. He is a badass. He doesn't say much. He's supposed to be the de facto audience member. Like, he is me. Like, you know, the guy who says, oh man, this whole situation's crazy. We shouldn't be in here. This is mental. That is meant to be Cole Young. And then he kind of doesn't say anything. Like, he's got maybe like 4 or 5 lines of dialogue in the movie. Most of them tropey as balls. But just, no, like, I didn't mind Cole Young. And I don't care. I've seen a lot of the Mortal Kombat fanboys hating on Cole Young because they don't like this character who's been made for the movie. But so what? Like, new audiences need that character. But what you tend to find, because the story's not really that well written in his favor, you tend to find that Kano becomes that character. Kano becomes, oh man, this shit's nuts. He becomes that character. He becomes me. He becomes me in that situation. And I would probably do what that man does towards the end of the movie. Fatalities are freaking awesome. Like, you get some awesome fatalities here. Jax, you know, the big hand smash. We all know it from the game. Gorgeous. You get Kung Lao using the spinning hat. I will not give a spoiler there because, my god, that is a scene. You want to talk about R-rated? That is a freaking scene. But what I will say is, while some of them are excellent, some of them just kind of happen, and it's a little bit upsetting in the way that you don't get much Mortal Kombat in your Mortal Kombat movie, if you know what I mean. Like, the punches are not hitting that hard. Choreography's gorgeous. Choreography's well done. But then, like, in the editing room, they seem to have chopped that shit up, and they've made it really, like, incohesive. Apart from the 2 Scorpion and Sub-Zero fights, you get one at the start, one at the end. Apart from those 2 fights, all the rest of the fights just seem kind of like, okay, this is a thing now, it's happening. But the fatalities make up for that. It's just when they're having the actual fight, I want those punches to hit, those kicks to hit, I want all of it to hit, and I want people to be hurt. You get some of that, you don't get a lot of that, but then you get the fatality at the end of the fight that just makes you go, holy damn! Like, that's some shit right there. But yeah, that is in a nutshell how the fatalities go. You get some cracking ones. There's a lot of good references. There's some fantastic references in this movie to the games, to the videos, to the movies back in the day. all of that good stuff. You get a nice little katana Easter egg with the fan in the background. You get this amazing scene when they're doing the montage of like, I think it's Liu Kang keeps doing the, when he drops down and spins the leg and he keeps knocking Kano over, and Kano stands up and he's like, is that the only move you've got? He's proper pissed off because he just keeps spamming that button. As a child who played that game in the 90s, you did that. You did that. And you know how I know that? Because I did that. That was my go-to. That was my go-to. You figure out a move, you keep doing it. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. There is no Johnny Cage. There's no Johnny Cage. I'm okay with it. I actually don't mind not seeing Johnny Cage. Like, if you're going to hold somebody back for the sequel, hold back Johnny Cage. Like, I'm pretty sweet with that. We're definitely gonna get another movie. It's gonna happen. This film was awesome. Like, it's just, and I'm not saying it's awesome like it's Godfather awesome. It's God tier awesome. It's the best movie ever made. But you can't tell me in that first 10-15 minutes you weren't sitting there thinking, is this a Mortal Kombat movie? Because this thing's gorgeous. It just comes out of the gate and it's gorgeous, and then the story rapidly declines. It goes downhill. But they throw in some fights, so it doesn't matter. You've got ninjas fighting. Who doesn't love that? You've got Scorpion, get over here. You've got all these fantastic one-liners. Flawless victory. Fatality. Kano wins. You've got all that kind of thing, which just as a fanboy, as a geek, as a nerd, I love. You're not going to take that from me. Okay, we didn't get the Mortal Kombat. We didn't get that. It's a shame. We get like a version of it towards the end of the movie. But let's be honest. Where the hell are you going to put that song? But on the music isn't fantastic. It's a little bit bland. It's a little bit generic in places. Cabal, shut your mouth. Like, Cabal, every time that kid talks, I'm like, get off my screen. Even the little to and fro between him and Kano, nah. So anyway, this is going on far too long. This was supposed to be an impromptu review. I am now pretty much going through the whole movie. I genuinely think there's an audience for this. I think people are going to love this. I think we'll definitely get a sequel. And I kind of feel like a couple of years back when the Power Rangers movie came out, and I know a lot of people weren't keen on the Power Rangers movie, kind of feel like this is going to have a little bit of that. I hope people take to it. I really do, because I want to see what they do with the tournament. If you want to talk about, like, setting something up, they have absolutely set this up. People are complaining. People are really complaining about the fact that we didn't even get a tournament. I didn't need a tournament. I was okay without it. Like, this was a build-up movie. This was like, for me, this was like The Force Awakens. We've had this stuff in the past. Like, the first one in 95 was good. The second one was, It's kind of just tapered off since then. We're going to bring it back. We're going to reboot it. So we're just going to give you the beforehand. We're going to kind of just retread that wave. But it's kind of like a prequel to the tournament. And then in the second movie, we're going to give you the tournament. We're going to give you all of your favorite characters, every single one of them. I guarantee you there's characters coming into this. They hinted so strong, like the katana thing. She's definitely showing up. Striker, they kind of do something with Striker's character. Nightwolf is in there. Bring them all on. Bring them all on. So as far as I'm concerned, Mortal Kombat, you get a pass from me. I absolutely love this film. I ain't going to give it a rating because people's just going to jump down my throat and be like, how the hell can you give that movie that? There's no rating on this. It's a damn good time. Go and watch it. If you're a fan of the franchise, the legacy, the lore, there's something in there for you. If you're a casual movie-going viewer who just wants to see a well-shot movie about ninjas kicking ass, go and see it. This movie covers a lot of bases. If there's one thing I would say to sell you on this movie, Kano. So anyway, that was Mortal Kombat 2021. I really hope you watch it. I really hope you enjoy it. If you do watch it, please do come back for the next video. Nerdly Out Loud, part of nerdly.co.uk, the official podcast or YouTube channel, whatever you want to call it. We're kind of just becoming a YouTube thing now. But we're going to keep rolling. We've got interviews coming up. We've got loads of different episodes coming up. I am testing the waters with many different things. We've teamed up with the Romford Film Festival. We're going to be doing a lot with those guys as well. I can't wait to bring you everything else. Mortal Kombat 2021, please watch it, if only for Kano. Don't forget, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ding that bell for notifications, hit all those things, and I will be back in another video very, very soon.